going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Beer Battered Sports Podcast. Oh my God, Callie, just messing up the intro, throwing me off my game. Welcome back to the Beer Battered Sports Podcast, the podcast created by sports fans for sports fans, because we think we are the most qualified people to talk about our favorite teams. I'm your co-host Isaac,
and I'm Kylie,
and I'm Calvin, aka 40, and here's our guest star Milani.
Oh, it's adorable. Yeah, welcome to episode 45, everybody. 45 episodes of Beer Battered Sports. That's wild. Well, technically, half of those are Beer Battered Sports. The first half were under a different name, but same podcast.
Same three hooligans.
Yeah. Before we start today's episode, just want to say a big shout out to Team USA. Let's go. We are into the round of 16. It's called fucking soccer.
Yes, sir.
I am so sorry, Cal. I did not mean. I just
your child. Hey, listen. I promise you, when these Commanders are playing, she hears much worse.
Hey, you guys have been playing great, though.
Yeah,
we've been trying to.
We're gonna get.
Well, I guess with that being said, you want to kick off into the NFL?
Oh yeah. I was just about to say let's start things off with the NFL. It was an interesting week. I think.
I won a lot of money.
Oh yeah, how much did you win?
$1,200 total.
Damn.
Yeah, this weekend was a great weekend in the sports betting world. It's still ever since they brought it to Maryland, it's been great.
It's been fantastic. I loved it.
I don't bet on sports. I don't do sports betting, but I'm not against it. So I will say it was fun to watch my brother actually get interested in watching the Thanksgiving games. As he said, I'm not interested in watching the sports unless I can win money off of it. And I thought,
valid.
Yeah, might as well. I'm not going to complain. Let's talk about those Thanksgiving games real quick.
That won me money.
That was probably the first Thanksgiving in a long time I can remember where all three games were actually really good.
Yeah, I really, and not just because I won money from the Bills Lions game, but it was a great game overall. Josh Allen had his moment to lead his team to a win, and he did it. And I mean, the Lions are just always so close.
I think the best way to sum up the Lions is, like I said at the beginning of the season, they're that team everyone circles on the calendar as we're probably going to win, but we're going to want to take a long, hot shower afterwards and think about our life because of how hard it's going to be. They play hard no matter what, and they did that.
Easy.
They did that on Thursday. They took Buffalo to the wire, and
literally
this is the same team that has made the last couple of Thanksgivings really difficult at my household because we always watch the Lions game first, and it always has the same reaction from my dad. Why is this team on TV? Which it's true, but now it's like, oh, they're fun to watch now. People we can enjoy watching the Lions, I guess.
Yeah.
What I will say about that game is it just shows us more why we shouldn't hype this guy, Josh Allen. In the beginning of the season, he was the MVP favorite. Obviously, he's not now with what Jalen Hurts is doing. But you guys even know before the season started, when he was the MVP favorite and stuff like that, I was saying, like, this guy is, I don't know why he's the MVP favorite, because every year he shows us, even with the getting Stephon Diggs, he shows us he makes stupid he makes stupid decisions, such as throwing interceptions in the red zone or things like that. Like, you go back to the Jets game, they really should have blew the Jets out. You go back to the Lions game, they really should have blew the Lions out. But Josh Allen makes stupid decisions week in and week out. And it really shows us Josh Allen's true colors, because there's no reason they should only beat the Lions by 2 points or 3 points or whatever they beat them by.
And there's a good chance that they might not even win the division because the AFC East is so competitive this year. Any one of those teams could take the division.
Not only that, they were not only was he MVP favorite, but they were Super Bowl favorites when the season started. So
yeah, they were clear Super Bowl favorites.
So as Super Bowl favorites, why are you beating the Lions like Isaac said, his dad says every year on Thanksgiving, we got to watch this team. Come on. Why is this team on my football? Why is this team on my TV? Like, why are the Super Bowl favorites only beating the Lions by 3 points?
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
I agree.
Speaking of teams that like we expected to do better, let's quickly talk about the Giants because these last couple of weeks have kind of exposed them. That's what I want to put. The question I want to pose to you guys: have the Giants been exposed as being giant frauds, or is this just a rough patch for them?
This is the true identity of the Giants because I don't know. I think it was a couple weeks ago when the Jets and the Giants were both doing good, and I said I'm not sold on either of them yet. It's because of this right here. At the end of the day, Daniel Jones is still their quarterback. He has not – the only team he's actually come into the NFL and manhandled every year is, unfortunately, my team, which sucks. But, take those wins away from him. What is his record in the NFL? It's absolutely crazy. Besides this year, if you take away this year and you take away those Commander wins, what is his record in the NFL? At the end of the day, you still have Daniel Jones as your quarterback. He has done nothing in the NFL to impress us at all. You can't rely on Saquon Barkley week in and week out. Do you know how much that is asking for from your running back to win you football games week in and week out? Like 30 touches a game, 40 touches a game, that wears your running back down. So when it gets to playoff time, you won't even have your running back anymore, and then you'll have to rely on Daniel Jones, and now it's just pitiful time.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. I think the Giants were blessed with a very easy schedule and an incredible start to the year for both the defense and Saquon Barkley. And I'll admit, I thought they were legit at first, but over these last couple of weeks, I mean, the loss to the Seahawks were doing good. I thought, okay, it happens. Two good teams play each other. One has to come out. But getting blown out by the Lions, a team that every single week has had their games come down to the wire because their defense is that bad. Getting blown out by the Lions and then getting pretty much manhandled by the Cowboys. It's really eye-opening. And I'll give the Giants credit for this. They did hold the lead into the half. They did look competitive in the first half of that game. But as soon as the second half started and Dallas got the running game going, it was over. That Dallas running game is unbelievable. And it's not even Zeke doing much of the work. It's Tony Pollard.
Yep.
Who would have expected that? Tony Pollard has become the lead running back for the Cowboys. And Zeke is now just like their third down back. That's crazy.
He's only 3 years too late.
Tony Pollard, I was just about to say the same thing, Kylie. Tony Pollard has been better than Zeke for 3 years now. For 3 years now, he's been better than Zeke. And a lot of people have said that and saying that he should be the go-to back, but the Cowboys just finally started listening this year.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I haven't been fond of Zeke for a few years now. He's having a decent season this year, but Pollard is that guy for them.
Well, then again, Kylie, to be fair, as an Eagles fan, you wouldn't be fond of Zeke in the first place.
Yeah, of course.
Are you speaking from the perspective of an Eagles fan here or an NFL fan?
NFL fan.
Okay. I always have to check with you.
No, it's valid. No, you're valid. But I mean, I see Zeke twice a year against my team. And I've seen him twice a year against my team since his rookie year. And he has explosive tendencies, but he's just, that contract was overpaid to begin with. Yeah. And now he averaged 4.1. He's averaging 4.1 yards a rush. He has 577 yards, 7 touchdowns. 4.1 is I'll take it because realistically you're expecting 4 because he's averaging 4.1. You can get 4 yards per rush, and that's good, but it's not what you expect out of him for that money and for being the number one guy. Tony Pollard is averaging 5.6 yards, has 761 rushing yards, 130 and only 136 attempts, and 6 rushing touchdowns. Zeke has 140 attempts. So he has 4 less attempts than Zeke, is averaging 1.5 yards more, has 200, almost 200 more yards than him, and 1 less touchdown.
Damn.
This year. Yeah.
It's incredible.
So, yeah. So, I mean, when you look at it like that, Pollard is the clear number one guy.
Right.
Makes me start to wonder if Zeke's going to be sticking around with the Cowboys for much longer.
He shouldn't.
You know, it's funny you say that because there's a very, very great big list of free agent running backs this year, and a lot of them are still in their prime.
Yeah.
Zeke's not on that list, but it just brought up the fact that, you know, there's a lot of great running backs.
Yeah, and the running back position there's a lot of availability. You're never gonna get anywhere if you don't have, a team around you. Look at the Colts. They had Jonathan Taylor almost having an MVP season, and they still missed the playoffs last year.
But not exactly his fault, but yeah, good point.
Not exactly his fault, but the running back can only do so much, which is my point.
To be fair, and to add on to that, we're seeing a trend in the NFL this year where there's a reason why scores are so low, lower scoring, more defense. A lot of teams are opting to go with the run more. We're not seeing the like high octane passing we've seen of the past couple of seasons. We're seeing more of the ground and pound from like the 2000s and the 90s, back when teams were like, we need a big solid running back to get us going. And I will say this, as a fan of football, I love that trend because, it's making these games actually look like football games instead of just of college games. But more importantly, I think it's making the running back position more. It's making the running back position mean more. And if you make the running back position mean more, it could possibly lead to the return of my favorite position, the fullback, which has been neglected to the point that almost no teams use them unless you're Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah, it's true.
As someone who played fullback in youth football and his favorite player growing up was Mike Allstott, bring back fullbacks. We need them. They did nothing wrong. They're just big dudes who love to smash their helmets into their heads and, kill people on the football field. On the football field.
Yeah. Nah, but it's just like the running back position just won't get you where you want to go. I mean, like I just said, Jonathan Taylor literally had to have an MVP season just for them to even attempt to make the playoffs. The running back can only do so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at Barry Sanders, for example.
Yeah.
So,
well,
let's talk about the Commanders.
Yeah, we're transitioning over now. We're gonna talk about some of the other games and events. We're gonna start with the Commanders because as of right now, the Commanders are the 7th seed in the NFC playoffs and have a chance to make the postseason.
There's no have a chance. We're going to the postseason.
At this rate, probably. I mean, I don't
think I agree as well.
I think at this point, the Giants are going to collapse and the Commanders are going to take over that spot. Because right now, every NFC East team is in the playoffs as of our recording, but that's going to change. One of those teams, the Giants, is going to fall apart, which will allow probably the Seahawks or somebody else to sneak in, most likely the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I have 2 things here because I want to go into the Commanders, but you saying that there's room for somebody else to sneak in there and stuff like that. I saw this take yesterday, and it was very funny because it's actually very liable to happen and very much can happen. Somebody was saying, I'm going to pull my hair out. I'm going to lose my mind because Tom Brady is going to sneak into the playoffs at 8-9, have to play Taylor Heineke, and then Geno Smith and maybe Jalen Hurts on the way to his 11th Super Bowl, and we're all gonna have to watch him win his 11th Super Bowl. And I said, you know what? The crazy thing is, this actually could happen, because there's no way in your mind, either of your minds right now, I don't care how old that man is, what his team's doing right now, what their record is, when it's playoff time, there's no way in your mind you're going to tell me that you're betting against Tom Brady, against Taylor Heineke, Geno Smith, or Jalen Hurts. So when that guy said that take there, I was like, he's actually not wrong at all. Tom Brady definitely has a chance to walk to his 11th Super Bowl with an 8-9 record. That just goes to your point of somebody could sneak into the playoffs if the Giants collapse.
See, the way that the Bucs are playing right now, with losing to Cleveland of all teams, I don't see it happening. We have work to do. That this is the only thing I'll say about the Bucs right now. It's the reason why I'm wearing the Chiefs jersey today. The Bucs are just disappointing me. You lose to a team like Cleveland, a team that has had no real direction this season, and is kind of just waiting around for the Predator to get out of jail free card and come play for them. It's just frustrating, man. We didn't establish the run. We somehow thought to just throw it deep every drive instead of, play action, which had been so helpful against the Seahawks. And our defense just couldn't stop the Browns when it mattered most. That's the microcosm of the season. The Bucs have the talent to go places, but they're squandering it for some reason. And now the Panthers are probably going to take the division, because that's how it's trending right now.
Imagine that.
That's not happening.
Oh, I think there's a chance it could happen. The NFC South is it's happened before. 2014, the NFC South was just as bad, and the Panthers won at 7-8-1.
Who did I pick to win that division?
Let me check. You picked. You're probably gonna be wrong. Kylie, you picked. Oh my God, you picked Carolina.
I did.
Oh my God.
Carolina's not winning the division, bro.
Hey, you never know.
It could happen. But anyway, Calvin, you want to talk about the Commies? Give me the rundown about the Commies' latest victory. It was a big one.
It was a very, very big one. As you know, put us in the 7th spot. It also puts us right there in the mix for 2nd and 3rd in our division. If Dallas loses this week, we win, and then we come out of the bye week and Dallas loses again. Going into Dallas, we would have the same record. So it showed us our defense. This is what I say about it. Our team has come together very, very greatly. I don't know if it was Taylor Heineke. I don't know if somebody said something in the locker room and said, listen, we need to drop our nuts and go out here and do our job. But over the last 7 weeks, we have seen the Commanders come together as a team. Even in the loss to Minnesota, nobody thought we were going to be in that game. Everybody thought we were going to be blown out. Oh, Minnesota, they're the 2nd best team in the league. The only team that's beat them was the best team in the league, blah, 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 And even during that game, we only lost by 3 points. And the reason we lost by 3 points is because Taylor Heineke throws a stupid interception. And then, we had that stupid penalty at the end where the guy hits the center on the field goal and he knows he's not supposed to do that. But we showed throughout the last 7 weeks as well that we can play with anybody in the NFL. And before anybody listening or anybody that's going to listen looks at me like I'm crazy when I say this, it's not a crazy take at all, because we beat the best team in the NFL 2 weeks ago. So we have shown in this last 7 weeks with Taylor Heineke under center, and it's sad to say that it didn't work out with Carson Wentz. But with Taylor Heineke under center, through the last 7 weeks, we've shown that we can play with anybody in the NFL. And I actually really like our chances if we can continue to roll and get into the playoffs. If the playoffs ended today, we'd be the 7th seed. Yeah. With us being the 7th seed, we play Minnesota. And us playing Minnesota in the first round, I really, really, really like our chances against Minnesota, even the game being in Minnesota. I love our chances.
You guys should have beaten Minnesota in the regular season. I could see it happening.
1,000%. We should be 7-0 in the last 7 games, but Minnesota snuck one out against us. But yeah, man, start the season 1-4.
6-1.
starting the season 1-4. Nobody thought we'd be right here at 7-5. I myself didn't think we would be right here at 7-5 after a 1-4 start. I thought maybe we go 8-9 at best, but now we have a real chance to go make some noise and actually sneak into the playoffs. And I love the way we're playing right now. And somehow, some way, we have to find a way to pay De'Aaron Payne this offseason.
Well, you guys got the Giants in their next two games. You got the 49ers. You got the Browns and the Cowboys. It's doable.
It's very doable.
Incredibly doable. And speaking of that the playoffs, by the way, now that we're getting into that part of the season, here's what the playoff picture looks like. In the AFC, Kansas City would get the bye week. The wild card rounds would be Jets at Dolphins, Bengals at Titans, and Bills at Ravens. Some pretty good matchups. By the way, we did see Bengals Titans this past weekend.
It is difficult. They need to play their asses off the next few weeks, but it's very, very doable.
I don't really think it's that difficult. The Giants
are the best team in the league.
Now he's just trolling.
Oh, okay. Oh,
now he's just trolling. Because I don't really think that's difficult at all. You know, the Giants back-to-back. We see. All right, it does scare me this week because the Giants just came out of a bye week.
I say y'all split.
Bye week? We're playing Dallas, bro.
Oh, yeah, they did play Dallas last week. They played them on Thursday. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so they just lost to Dallas.
Got their asses kicked.
I don't care. I like our chances. I like us against the – so, yeah, we actually have an advantage here. We play the Giants, go into a bye week, and then the Giants again.
Daniel Jones will win MVP.
Forget the split. I like us to sweep them.
We've seen this year that in a rematch game that Washington is extremely dangerous. You know, we saw what happened when they played Philly the second time. Sorry, Kylie. You okay?
So it happens when you miss calls, but whatever.
Yeah. So even if they lose to the Giants, which I don't think will happen, the rematch game they'll win because we've seen what happens.
I just think you have to go with the hot hand right now, and until somebody.
Yeah, I'm not counting Washington out at all.
It's until somebody cools the Commanders off, you got to keep going with them.
What happened to the Bucks? A lot of things happened to them.
We already discussed that. Speaking of the Bucks, here's the NFC playoff picture. Eagles would get the bye. Kylie, by the way, quick thoughts. How do you feel about the Eagles potentially ending the age of Aaron Rodgers? Yeah, there you go.
Look, so I am. It's known that I'm not a fan of Aaron Rodgers. I can't stand him. Matt LaFleur just said that he's not expected to play against the Bears on Sunday. Why did I smile? Because I hate Aaron Rodgers. But obviously, I don't like that it's because of injury. You don't like that as a fan, regardless of how you feel.
Yeah, sometimes it's deserved. Go ahead.
Nah, he did nothing wrong. I'm just not a fan. Yeah, exactly. He did get hurt. That's why I'm not that's why I'm not happy about that. But I'm happy we won. So you got that. Because you never like I said, you never like to see them get hurt. But I'll take the win. It was a good game. I couldn't watch the game because we lost power for like 6 hours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, this is why I moved to a northern county because we're not on the same grid, losers. Yeah, there was a big power outage in our part of Maryland because a plane hit the power lines. Freaky stuff.
Random. Everybody's okay though, so.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Everyone's okay.
Yeah.
I just remember getting all these alerts and people asking, "Are you okay?" And my coworkers like, "How did you survive the power outage?" By not living in the county where it happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Eagles have the bye for the NFC. Wild card games would be Washington at Minnesota, Giants at San Francisco, and Dallas at Tampa. So
I did lose power. Yeah. I lost power from like 6:30 and I woke up I went to bed early because there was nothing to do. I had no signal, so I couldn't watch the game or anything. So yeah, I did miss a great game. and I was 5 yards away from winning $500 from that game. I had a Hurts rushing for a touchdown, and he was 5 yards away from a touchdown.
Oof. Well, let's
But-
wrap up our NFL section by doing our Week 13 game picks.
I do want to address this. There are
ahead.
Eagles fans
Yeah.
cheering over Packers players being injured. That's obviously not okay. You don't want that. You don't cheer for injuries. He is not a terrible person. Just because you're not a fan of how they play does not mean you want them to get you cheer for them being hurt. He did nothing wrong. So be happy with the win. Show some class. Don't cheer for injuries.
Fair enough.
He did nothing to warrant that. Cheer for the
Fair.
win, not the injury.
You do realize the Eagles fans don't care, but you know what? I'll give you credit, Kylie. You try to make a difference.
No,
Right.
there's I actually haven't seen that. There are some that I've seen, but I haven't seen it too much.
I
People
just
doing
knocked
that,
I
but-
just knocked a tennis ball somewhere into the shadow realm behind my chair. We'll figure
Good
out
job.
where that went later. So in terms of our week picks, in terms of the leaderboard overall, in terms of weeks 1, Kylie and I are still tied at 5. Are tied up at 5. Calvin, you're with 3. Eric is 0. Our special guest picker. Overall, I'm leading the way, 109 to 71. Calvin second, 102 to 77. Kylie is third, 102 to 78. Technically, you two should be tied, but Calvin, you refused to pick the Broncos Raiders game from a couple weeks ago, so that's
Give him
why
a
there's a
loss.
discrepancy.
Give him a loss. That's an automatic
Nah,
loss.
that's a tie, man. That's
That's an automatic loss.
I'm not
No.
counting anything. He didn't pick that game. He denied that game. That's the only one you get. That's the only one you get. Anyway, we have a
That's
very
bullshit.
Hey, it's fair. Have you seen how the Broncos have played this year? It is fair to look at a Broncos Raiders.
Broncos
game
just lost to the goddamn Panthers.
Yeah. Defender of the North says, "Is there a link to your Twitter in the description?"
No, but it's the same. It's BB Sports _pod.
Yeah. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter if you haven't already. The link to all of our merch is there as well. Let's do our game picks. Week 13, a lot of interesting matchups. We're getting closer and closer towards the end of the season, or the regular season, which means every matchup, there's something important. And we start off with a very interesting Thursday night game. Bills-Patriots. Huge game for both of these teams who are trying to fight through that red-hot AFC East. I'm going to take Buffalo to win this one. Guys, who do you got?
I'm gonna pick the Patriots because the Bills have yet to beat an AFC East team this year.
Ooh, good point.
Who's home?
It is Patriots who are home.
I like the Pats.
All right. Sunday early games. Steelers and Falcons. Steelers coming off a big win on Monday Night Football. Falcons going to be without Kyle Pitts for the rest of the season. He's out with a knee injury. I'm taking Pittsburgh to win this one.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh just looked good last night or 2 nights ago. I like Pitt, man.
Yeah, I like Pitt.
I also need Pittsburgh to win so the Bucs stay in the hunt for the NFC South. All right, this one should be an easy one. Broncos traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. We're all in agreement of who's going to win, right?
You know how I feel. As long as 8 is on the field, I don't need to say anymore.
He just
Defender of the North, you have a budding career in shitposting, my friend.
I love it. It's great. Keep it up.
All right, we're all in agreement. Baltimore over the Ravens. I mean, Baltimore over the Broncos. Good.
Oh
good.
yeah, gonna kick their ass.
Yeah.
All right, Packers Bears. Aaron Rodgers is out. Who you guys got?
Bears.
Is
Jordan
Justin
Love.
Fields back?
Oh no, Trevor Siemian might get the start.
All right. Well, I like the Packers then. Jordan Love. I like J Love.
Jordan Love
Yeah,
Jordan Love impressed me enough on Sunday night in the few half quarter he played that I think I'll take the Packers because the
Yeah.
Bears just have a lot of issues.
the Bears are gonna have a third quarterback in a row own their team for the next 10 years.
Jeez.
So 30 years of just being owned by the Packers.
Yep. All right, Jags Lions kitty cat battle.
Lions. Lions.
Who's home?
Lions are home.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Lions.
I'm gonna take Detroit to win too. I think Jacksonville got lucky, upsetting the Ravens this week, but give me Detroit.
The Ravens defense played like shit.
Don't worry, they're getting a cushion game for this week. All right, one of the big games in the early games, Browns Texans. The Predator is back, and he gets to face off against his former team.
Watson did not look good in preseason.
No way. It would be. I see where you're going right now, Kylie, but don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do what I think you're about to do.
I think that Deshaun.
I'm still gonna pick the Browns though.
I think that the Browns will win, but Jacoby Brissett's going to be playing because Deshaun Watson's going to play like ass in the first half. Houston is not winning as long as
I don't
Kyle
know
Allen
though.
is the
I
starter.
don't know that though. It would be great for the NFL. Headlines.
Thinks you're about to do.
It would
You know what?
Great. It would be great for the NFL headlines. Deshaun Watson goes back to Houston and loses.
You know what? Screw it. My upset of the week. Houston gets win number 2. They upset.
That's what I'm saying.
I think I want to jump on Kylie's bandwagon now too.
We're taking a Houston sweep.
Are we taking a Houston
headline
sweep?
just sounds too good.
The thing is, though, like Houston.
I did pick the Browns, but I might be changing the Texans. I don't know.
Make your
it's
decision
tough.
now, Kylie. Make your decision now.
Yeah, I'm going. What are the odds? Let me see the betting odds first.
I'll say this: Houston has been.
It's a Vegas game.
Yeah, Houston's been awful this year, like awful. But there's nothing a team wants to do more than beat another team that has something personal against them.
Yes.
And not only, exactly. Not only that, it's like Deshaun coming home. You feel me? It's like,
the odds are very, very close.
Ooh.
Right now on DraftKings.
Cleveland is a weird team to look at because
Houston's at a plus 265. Cleveland's at a minus 320. It's at the spread's 7.
Cleveland is just a weird team in general because they don't really have a flow this season. Their whole year so far.
Texans.
Yeah, their whole season this year so far has been waiting for the Predator to come back, and now that he's back, well, it's a made-for-TV movie script. Give me Houston.
Yeah, I'm going with the Texans. That spread's way too low for 0-7 team or whatever the hell they are, 1-8 or whatever.
Yeah. All right. The next early game: Jets Vikings showdown between two playoff eligible teams. Who you guys got? Might remind you, Jets Vikings. So Kirk Cousins versus the GOAT Mike White. I'm taking the Vikings to win this one. Who you guys got?
Give me my boy Kirk, man. Give me my boy Kirk.
What time's the game at?
It's an early game.
Kirk, give me the Vikings.
1 p.m. Kirk Cousins. You know he's good money.
Swear to God.
Yeah. Although he looked good in prime time last week. I'm just gonna say
he did.
Just a little bit. All right, the Commies taking on the Giants. NFC East battle, big rivalry game. Daniel Jones versus his favorite punching bag. Is this the year the punching bag punches back? I say it is. Go Washington.
Left hand up. Who are we? Come on. You know who I'm rocking with. You know who I'm rocking with.
Kylie, who you got?
Same, Commanders.
She's left hand up.
Left hand up.
The Commanders don't piss me off anymore. I don't like it.
Yeah. It's amazing what happens when, your team has a healthy culture. Well, trying to get a healthy culture around it. They're trying. They just need Dan Snyder to get. As soon as Dan Snyder is gone forever. What's up, Abraham? All right. Our last 1 a.m. game, Titans and Eagles. Another matchup between two potential playoff teams. Who we got for this one?
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to piss Kylie off right now, but give me the Eagles' second loss. Give me the Titans.
Woo! I love it. I'm going to take Philly to win. Kylie, who you got?
Eagles.
Okay. All right, moving on to the late games.
It was the stare down.
Moving on to the late games. We got a couple of duds to get. Man, there's so many good games this week, man. There's so many. But unfortunately, we also have a couple duds in the late games. First,
the Christmas games are ass.
We'll get there eventually. Our first dud, Seahawks and Rams.
That's going to be a good game.
Seahawks, Rams?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
no, the Rams are
Yes.
horrible. No,
So are the Wait,
the
you
Seahawks.
said Seahawks and Rams?
Seahawks. Did you think
I
I
don't know
said
why.
Broncos?
Yeah, I don't know why I was just thinking Broncos.
What did you think a Broncos game could be enjoyable?
Yes.
Oh, Kylie, give me the Seahawks by 20.
Seahawks, Rams. Seahawks.
I'm going
Kylie?
Seahawks too.
Oh yeah. All right, this one's been labeled as a potential Super Bowl preview. Dolphins 49ers. This is a tough one.
It's funny you say that because a lot of people have been calling me crazy when I say the 49ers, if they get another chance to go to that NFC Championship, they're going to the Super Bowl.
Hold on, I just want to answer something real quick. How did the Rams
How
make
did
it to
the
the
Rams-
Super Bowl game? They sold out. They
were good last year.
they sold their future for a ring. They got rid of they sold out for good players, and then now all those players have left and they're terrible because that's the Rams.
They've kept most of their players though.
Wait, what's the game we're asking about right now?
Dolphins 49ers. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Because the question is like, how are you guys picking the Seahawks when the Rams won the Super Bowl? Because the Rams are shit. All right, Dolphins 49ers. Who you guys got?
Who's home?
49ers.
Sheesh. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins, man. They want to stay atop of the AFC East.
Like that pick.
I'm going Niners.
I'm picking San Francisco too. Jimmy Garoppolo is I totally don't have a massive crush on Jimmy Garoppolo, but if I did, I'm picking on 49ers. All right, Chiefs, Bengals. Rematch of the AFC Championship game.
Is Jamar
Chiefs.
Chase back?
I don't think
No.
so. Bengals are doing great without their weapons, I have to point out. I'm rolling
Chiefs.
with KC.
Yeah,
Riley, you're taking KC. Everyone taking KC.
I gotta roll my boy 15, man. Can't
Yeah.
go against that boy Pat Mahomes.
He's still him.
I learned my lesson betting against that boy one time.
Our last late game, Chargers and Raiders. Last time these two teams played in Las Vegas, it was one of the wildest games we've ever seen. That was last year's season finale. Now they're playing again. This could be a crucial game because for both of these teams, they're fighting for that wild card spot in the AFC. Who you guys got?
Raiders.
Chargers.
I'm going to take
Interesting.
the Chargers to win. Well, actually, no. Raiders have started to get it together. I'm taking the Raiders. Josh Jacobs helped me win my fantasy game last week, so I appreciate that. Sunday Night Football. Colts.
He helped
and-
me win my money too.
By the way, I forgot to mention our overall records from last week. I finished I won week 12 with 11-5. Calvin and Kyle, you guys were tied at 10-6, so we all did really well. 2 more games to pick. Colts, Cowboys, Sunday Night Football. I'm taking Dallas to win this one easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dallas in a obliteration.
What was
And-
that game, by the way? That just utter clock mismanagement
Which one are you
from
talking about?
Saturday.
That's Saturday. He's
Oh.
terrible.
Yeah, he's getting in. He's getting exposed.
Yeah,
Final,
It's crazy.
our final game: Saints, Bucks, Monday Night Football.
Ah,
Bucks.
give me Tommy boy, man. Give me Tommy boy.
I have to roll with Tampa. I can never
Yeah.
root for the Saints. It's Saints week. Those Florida fucks are going down. I hate the Saints so much. Yeah, that's gonna do it. All
Yeah,
right,
you do.
all right. Where do we want to go to next?
Let's head over to the MLB real quick because there's nothing much going on. So the winter meetings are next week.
All right.
So we might actually get some freaking transactions, which will be nice. The Astros just kind of retool and get Jose Abreu, who
Yes.
who won the MVP in 2020.
That's crazy.
These assholes just keep adding.
Yeah,
The rich get richer and the poor suffer.
it's insane.
Yeah.
Gross.
Carlos Santana signs with the Pirates. Look, it's a move. All right. It's something that finally happened in the MLB offseason. So it's something.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not gonna. look, something happened. Interesting happened. We're gonna talk about it, even if it's just a little bit.
So the Yankees offering Judge $300 million for 8 years.
I think that's too low.
It's too low. You got to offer him more.
Yeah,
I don't
man.
remember if this was before the season or after this.
You got to
Season.
offer him more. You can't offer him that low. Like, what are we doing?
Way too low, man.
That's 37.5 a year.
This is how we lose. This is how
For
we
8
lose
years.
Aaron Judge to the Giants. I swear to God.
I don't think they will.
I hope we need to figure it out. I can't stand to lose Aaron Judge. I can't. We have something going here. We just need to improve where we need to improve, and that involves keeping Aaron Judge.
Wow.
Yes.
Freaking
Man,
me
I
out.
think I need to go get a computer charger real quick.
No problem. In the
Go for
meantime, let's quickly go over to hockey because we can knock that one out quick.
Yeah.
So in the world of hockey, what's going on in hockey? Well, just want to quickly shout out this Kings Kraken game that ended in a 9-8 overtime Kraken win.
Yeah.
So chaos. Love it.
I love it.
Love it. Alex Ovechkin has passed Wayne Gretzky for the most NHL road goals. He probably will pass him in total. I don't think he's done yet. That's why we love the Great Eight. And some more somber news, and this is something I really did want to talk about. A couple weeks ago, we talked about Borje Salming getting his number retired by the Toronto Maple Leafs. Salming, of course, played for them throughout the 1970s and was probably one of their few bright spots during that era. Well, just a few days after that number retirement ceremony, Salming tragically passed away in his home country of Sweden. I believe his death was the result of ALS, which, man, fuck that disease, man.
Yeah, seriously.
Now, Borje Salming doesn't get a lot of attention from newer hockey fans, and I just need to point out what Borje Salming has done over the over his career. By the way, those comments. Yes, we do have a YouTube channel, Beer Battered Sports on where you can go. We has all of our previous broadcasts. So here's what Borje Salming did over the course of his career. He was the very first Swedish player to be inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame. He was named to the All-Star team at the World Ice Hockey Championships in 1973. Swedish All-Star team twice. NHL second All-Star team in 75, 76, 78, 79, and 80. NHL first All-Star team in 77. He was given the Viking Award for the best Swede in North American hockey in 76, 77, and 79. He was awarded the Molson Cup, most three-star selections in 74, 77, 78, and 1980. Canada Cup All-Star team in 76. Played in the All-Star game in 76, 77, and 78. Was given the Charlie Conacher Humanitarian Award in 1982. Played for Team NHL in the 1979 Challenge Cup. Named to the IIHF Hall of Fame in 1998. Named to the IIHF Centennial All-Star Team in 2008. His number was retired by the Maple Leafs. 100 greatest players in NHL history was named to that, and was named to the Swedish Ice Hockey Association's All-Century team. Without a doubt, one of the best European players of all time. It's a shame most of his career was stuck with Toronto, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah. I'll say this. I'll say this. It's a shame he never got to win a Stanley Cup, but the dude was an absolute monster. And once again, he is a reminder that ALS can go suck a dick.
Yeah.
With that
seriously.
With that being said, let's take a look at the standings. Let me just pull them up real quick.
Yeah. What are the standings this week, bud?
Oh, I know. I know you just are so excited.
Devils are red hot.
Yep. So over in the Atlantic, things are tightening up just a bit. Boston still leads with 38 points, but Toronto has closed to within 5 points. They're in second place. Then it's Tampa holding on to third place. We're in this. Followed by Detroit holding on to the wild card spot, 2 points ahead of Florida. I got to say for Detroit, that young core really starting to come together. They're impressing me so far. Montreal is somehow in the fight for the wild card, which is good to see them, especially with head coach Martin St. Louis. Tampa legend. Buffalo and Ottawa, meanwhile, are they're taking up the rear, as usual. And again, I just have to say it, Ottawa, from off-season champions to fucking it up this early, man. Come on. In the Metropolitan Division, New Jersey is running away with it. Devils 19-4, They trail only the Bruins in terms of the best record in the NHL and are tied for them with the most points. How do you feel, Kylie?
I feel like I picked a damn good year to start watching hockey again.
How many times have you said that in the last couple of weeks?
Every time.
Nice. The Devils have an 8-point lead over the New York Islanders for first place. That's probably the biggest challenge you got so far is pulling away from the Islanders.
And they just lost to the Flyers last night, so.
Oh, yeah. Carolina sits third in the
How do you
standings.
lose to the Flyers?
How do you? Carolina sits third in the standings. Fourth place goes to Pittsburgh, who started to pick it up, but they have a 2-point lead over the Rangers for the wild card spot. Gotta say, I'm disappointed in the Rangers. They were my picks to be the Eastern representatives in the Stanley Cup, and they're not looking good this year so far. Washington's hanging on in the wild card hunt. They're 3 points back. Then there's Philly, who they're kind of in it, but not really. And then the Blue Jackets, who are currently the worst team in the East and one of the worst teams in hockey. Amazing. Just amazing how they've fallen apart. In the West, Dallas still leads the Central Division, but by 1 point over Winnipeg. That division is anemic right now. Colorado's sitting in third, the defending champs. They're looking blah. Then the wild card spot is a 4-way tie between Minnesota, Nashville, and St. Louis, all of whom don't look impressive at all, but, they're all still fighting for it. Arizona's bringing up the rear, and then there's Chicago, who has fallen apart this last week. They're 6-11-4, 16 points, one of the worst teams in the league. Karma, basically. In the Pacific, Vegas still holds the top spot, but let's give a shout-out to the Seattle Kraken, who at 31 points are 4 points back for the division lead and look set to make their first-ever playoff appearance if they continue to hold through the second half of the season. And I just got to say, I love it. I love an expansion team having success like that.
Yeah.
The Kings.
That Kraken game last night, I think it was 17 points scored in that game.
Yeah, 9-8.
Yeah.
The Kraken hold the longest winning streak of the NHL right now. They've won 6 straight. They are coming together.
What are you talking about? The Devils have won 17 straight.
No, they've won 3 straight.
No, they won 17.
Wait a damn minute, Kylie.
We didn't play Toronto in Toronto and got those 3 goals called back.
Yes,
That
you
never
did.
happened. No, it never happened.
Yes,
No,
you
it never
did.
happened.
Yes,
No, it
you
never
did.
happened. No, it never happened.
Los Angeles is sitting third. They got 28 points.
I hate the Kings.
Edmonton is holding on to the wild card spot by 1 point over Calgary.
I
Love it
would
that
never
the
forgive
two.
the Kings for beating us.
I love it that the 2 Alberta teams are the ones who are fighting for the last wild card spot. Then there's Vancouver with 21. They're still in the fight for the wild card. San Jose, let's be honest, they got 20 points, but just barely. And then there's Anaheim, 14 points, 3-game losing streak, worst team in the league. Gross.
Yeah. They're not the Muddy Ducks of Anaheim anymore.
Oh, no, not at all. As for the stats, leading the way in
Bring it
points,
back.
it's Connor McDavid with 39.
Of course.
Leading in the way with goals, McDavid's been overtaken by Jason Robertson of the Stars with 19. And plus minus, it's New Jersey's Jonas. How do I say this name, Kylie? You're the New Jersey fan.
Wait, hold on.
The Swiss guy. I don't want to mess up his last name. You're a Devils fan. He's the guy leading in plus minus. Jonas.
What the fuck? Hold on, I'm confused.
Jonas Siegenthaler?
Oh. Siegenthaler.
Yeah, Siegenthaler. He's only
Holy
scored.
shit, a plus 24.
Yeah, plus 24. Ridiculous. In terms of goaltending, it's that man. It's him. Him. Linus Ullmark of Boston. His goals against average, a straight 2. Save percentage, .935. Wins 13. He is well on his way to winning the Vezina Trophy this year.
Who's at number 2 for goals against average?
Vita Vanacek.
There you go. And who's at number 4? Well, I guess who's tied for 3rd in wins?
Vita Vanacek.
There you go. The King.
He is getting there. He's getting there.
I love him so much.
I am I'm very much looking forward to the inevitable clash between Boston and New Jersey in the Eastern Finals.
Yeah, Taylor Hall. I can't wait. Like, as much as I love Taylor Hall and I miss him on the Devils, like, when you go up against us, it's I don't like you.
Well, that's gonna do it for hockey. Let's move on to basketball before we close things out.
Yes, sir. So, basketball was a little interesting this week. Karl Anthony Towns has been sidelined for 4 to 6 weeks with a calf strain, so that sucks.
I hate it so much. All of this hype and I have for this team for Minnesota is just going out the window. I hate it.
I
Crazy.
feel like I'm the only one that predicted them not being good.
You are, but okay. To be fair, we had our reasons for thinking they would be good. The
Yep.
momentum from last year, the getting back to the playoffs, winning in the play-on tournament. That's a
The Rudy
legit
Gobert
reason.
trade killed it.
Did.
That's the risk you run with bringing a big name guy into your team. Like he's gonna want the ball or something. There's not Gobert specifically, but like with big name players, they're gonna want the ball. They're gonna so you run a huge risk of trading a lot for a big player. And Rudy Gobert wasn't that worth all that they gave up to begin with. So I saw it as a recipe for disaster, and as much as it sucks, it's not surprising to me personally. But that being said, I hope Kat feels better because I absolutely love Karl Anthony Towns. He's a great guy. So, but the Lakers blew a 17-point lead with 10 minutes left in the fourth.
Somebody say something. I don't want to talk about it, man. It's for a second I thought we were getting hot. They tricked me.
Tricks
not-
you.
It's. I think one of the ESPN guys was saying it the other day. This is only like the 20th game that LeBron, AD, and Russell Westbrook have ever played together, in the
That's
2 years
crazy.
that they've been together. So it's still some getting used to, still some learning and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I hope they get it together and at least make the playoffs, because I don't want to see another year of LeBron out the playoffs, because it sucks as a LeBron fan, and it sucks as a person who supports the Lakers.
You should go to the Lakers Wizards game with me on Sunday.
I told you I got stuff to do that day. I want to.
What
You
time
have
is
to
it?
go. It's at 6.
Will you
I'm
buy me a
actually
ticket?
Huh?
Will you buy me a ticket?
Hell no.
somehow, someway, I'm actually.
I'm not
trying to-
going.
I'm actually trying to sneak to the Ravens game on Sunday somehow, some way.
Ooh.
I don't make enough money to afford tickets, so
Yeah, they're expensive.
yeah.
It was a birthday / Christmas present to somebody, so I got that.
Ooh, who was it for, Kylie?
But the
Answer
Sixers,
the question, Kylie.
I got it from my boyfriend. All right, shut up. Because he's a huge LeBron fan.
He's a good man. He knows what's
Yeah,
up.
He knows what's up.
sure.
He'd be my friend, definitely.
But we got some blowout games, some 30-point blowout games at that. The Sixers blow out the Magic 133-103. That was fun to watch. The Celtics just destroy the Hornets 140-105. They are killing it right now. They're one of the hottest teams in the NBA. They're on a 4-game win streak, but they're at the top of the East, and they're absolutely killing it right now.
Top of the league too. They got the best record in the league, 17-4.
Yeah, so that's they're not
Who's the
a
worst
team to
team?
mess with.
Who's the worst team in the league? Oh, Detroit. Okay.
Yeah, who got their asses kicked by the Knicks 140-110.
How do you lose to the Ben Simmons?
Right.
That's what they are.
The Spurs are on an 8-game losing streak.
Ew.
So what started out as a good start to the season quickly went into a not so good
Man,
few weeks.
man, I miss when the Spurs were good. I miss.
don't.
I do. That was a lot of fun. It was fun. It was fun. You can't tell me it was fun to watch those Spurs teams. The incredible amount of team basketball that they had, the teamwork, the great players, how everyone on that team contributed. It was awesome.
What Spurs teams? The Duncan and those guys?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Duncanspurs teams.
Oh yeah, those are definitely great Spurs
They were
teams.
great, but the Jazz are on a 5-game losing streak too. So it's just but Boston and Phoenix are both on multi-game win streaks, and they're leading their conferences. So those two teams are kicking ass right now. They're not teams to mess with, and I don't want to play them right now. Especially
You'll have to.
especially Boston, because Boston is just killing it.
My
You'll
boy
have to.
Zero is on a different level right now.
Yeah, he is. Oh my god.
He's making my fantasy league easy.
Yeah. All right, so we got standings this week. If the playoffs ended at 21 games for some weird reason, this is where it would end. So you got Boston at 1, Milwaukee at 2, Cleveland at 3, Indiana at 4, Philadelphia at 5, and Toronto at 6. So that's not including the play-in. Those teams made it. They don't have to worry about it. The play-in would be Washington playing Atlanta and Brooklyn playing New York,
Go New York, go New York, go.
right? The winner of Washington and Atlanta would play Milwaukee, and the winner of Brooklyn and New York would play the loser of Washington and Atlanta, and the winner of that game plays Boston. And then at 11, you have the Heat, 12 Chicago, 13 Charlotte, 14 Orlando, and 15 Detroit. Detroit is just not good.
At all.
Yeah, at all. And for the West, you have Phoenix at 1, Denver at 2, New Orleans at 3, Memphis at 4, Clippers at 5, Sacramento at 6, Portland at 7, so Portland and Utah would play each other, and the winner of that game would play Denver. Golden State at 9, Dallas at 10. The winner of that game plays the loser of Portland and Utah, and then the winner of that game plays Phoenix. And at 11, you have Minnesota, 12 Oklahoma, 13 Los Angeles Lakers, 14 San Antonio, and 15 Houston. So everything is kind of looking like this is how the first half is going to look. I mean, at this point, we know which teams are not that great. We know which teams are good. We know which teams are fringe. For now, I mean, anything can change within a week, but that's what we got there.
Sounds like we have an exciting NBA season.
I'm enjoying it so far.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying it a lot.
I haven't been to a Sixers game yet, which is surprising. Yeah, because at this point I would have been to like 2 or 3 at least. But I just haven't gone. They're expensive too this year. But yeah, that's Isaac, you want to send this off?
Yeah, all right. Well, we didn't do a Goober of the Week this week, did we?
No.
I'm trying to think of who to give Goober of the Week to. Qatar. Qatar's our Goober of the Week for becoming the first host nation to get knocked out in the group round of the World Cup ever. Wow, y'all suck. I guess also I could Goober of the Week to Iran. Qatar. Qatar is a safer bet. Put Goober of the Week. And we are officially put on a list and we cannot enter the country of Qatar anymore. Sorry, guys. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the Beer Battered Sports Podcast. Once again, we want to thank our parent network, Fired Up Sports, for all the support they give us. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at BB Sports_pod. You can interact with us live on Facebook or YouTube. I know I'm reading the bottom. That's just how I do it. If you go over to the link in our Twitter page, you can get some of our merch. We have a line of t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, and sweatshirts with our logo on it that come in 3 different colors. We will have more merch soon, but again, guys, please go get it. We know it's a perfect gift you could get somebody for the holidays. Just say holidays are coming up. Christmas,
There you
Hanukkah,
go.
Kwanzaa, they're all coming up. You can get some. Whatever holidays I missed, I'm sure there are other ones. With that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you again live next Wednesday at 1. Thank you guys so much. Peace.
Peace.
Peace out.
And the